You see, I'm not saying that I'm not for relationships. In fact, A and I were talking about prior to the show. I was telling him, I'm like, yo, it's not that I don't want a relationship. Is that the woman has to want nothing from me except companionship, right? The
She
rest,
has to want nothing from
nothing,
you. What?
nothing from me except companionship. She cannot want children, right? Whatever I spend on her is what I want to spend on her. Okay, it's my choice what I spend on her because it's my choice to go out, get up, and go make my own money. So what I want to spend on her is what I want to spend on her. She doesn't need me for that. She doesn't need me for children. She doesn't need me for habitat, right? She's not on survival mode. I don't want a woman that's surviving. You understand? Because my prior relationship is that I put on the cape, like Drake said, and the mask every time. I'm not doing that no
But do
more.
you qualify for that type of
I
relationship?
do qualify for it because I've always gotten up and did what I had to do. Always. I've always did what I had to do. I had my failures, like every other person on this planet, but never, ever could anyone come and say, "Hey, yo, you know what? He didn't handle his part of the relationship." You crazy? Are you kidding me? I have three beautiful children that says differently. It would have never made it that far, ever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
And hold on, they're not just baby mamas. Let me just put that out there first and foremost. Let me be clear about this. They're not just baby mamas. If I have a child with a woman, a led up to that, she was something special in my life. So it's not just, it wasn't a hit and run where it was like, whoops. There was no oops there. No, this is someone that I cared for. So I don't have that problem. I really don't,
yeah.
Lonnie.
So if you meet a girl and she tells you, you are attracted to her,
Yeah.
she tells you, I'm not. Maybe she wants a child, but let's say she doesn't.
She she
But
doesn't would be preferable.
if she tells you, I want you to pay for my hair every week.
No, I'll pay for your hair when I feel like it. I'm not gonna pay for your hair every week. I'm not
Why
doing
not?
that. No, because that's a demand. That's not a gift at
But
that
the
point. You're
relationship is
basically
given, you know what I'm saying? What if she's
no.
cooking for you every day?
Well, thank God I know how to cook. I don't need that either. I'm good.
You can't walk into a relationship like that.
That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, I can't also walk into a relationship with demands either.
It's
I'm
like,
not
oh,
gonna
I'm gonna
walk
cook
into a
dinner for
relationship with
you,
demands.
and you're like, I can cook for myself.
No, what I'm saying is, but if she tells me I have to, you see that word you use? Now,
Yeah.
if she approached me and said, you know what? Like, here's the thing. If I approach here's how I approach a relationship. And maybe this is misunderstood, right? Like, the way I would do it is I would pay attention to what's most important to her, right? If I see that she gets her hair done every week and I feel like, hey, you know what? I can carry that instead, I will gift that to her. But if she came up to me and was like, yo, this is what I want, and start snapping her neck and fingers because Lord knows that's how demands come, right? They ain't gonna come at you and be like, hey, baby, you know what I think? You should really pay for my. No, it's not gonna happen like that.
Okay.
That's a demand, and I don't think that demands work in relationships. I really don't think they do. Demands don't work. They do not work. It's I think that's where society has gone wrong. Like, that guy got to pay for this. He's got to be doing this, or this. She's got to be doing that. No, demands are crazy. Like, let this thing take course. Like, let it happen naturally. Are you kidding me?
Jamarcus being so political, it's
I'm
like
not political, Lonnie. All right,
you
all right,
are because
I'm not being
you're like
political.
saying, okay, I understand that, but relationships don't work like that. Like a relationship comes in and it's like you understand if you like someone, this could be somebody that's you're like, damn, I didn't know that I could like actually fall for this person.
And I
You know
agree
what I'm
with
saying?
that.
And it's like, damn, now there's certain things that she wants me to do. There's
And
certain things that I want her to do. So we have to come to some type of compromise.
But how does that compromise happen? I can't remember the last time I was in a relationship, right? And I first met a woman, and it was like, "Hey, here's the outline," right? Perfect example. My daughter's mother, right? And I always talk about her. Wonderful mother, by the way. So I always talk about her, right? And I always say that when I met her, right, she had like the biggest wall, right, around her, and I was really interested in this woman. In fact, if there was ever a woman in life, she was the one I loved the most. And I'm not ashamed to say that. You understand? I have a beautiful daughter with her. She was the one I loved the most out of all the women I've ever met. And she had this wall around her. And then I started to realize, like, yo, I don't have to break the wall down. I just got to look for the door. And once I found that door, I got in. Let me tell you something. She didn't lack nothing. And it wasn't based on what she said to me, it was based on observation of who she is. Right. And I'm not going to say was, it's based on who she is. Right.
And you still love her.
I would never lose love for her. Ever.
There's always that one person.
There's always that one person. And I've always said that. I would never lose love for that woman. Ever. There's not a woman that can come into my world and say, hey, you know what? Forget about this. That would never happen. Ever. She is it. I will always love her. I will always appreciate her. But I can never be with her.
Why?
Because we don't match. We were forcing something that didn't click. We were just forcing this thing based on how we viewed each other.
So let me ask you, because we're older, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
At what point do you feel, because I think I found myself in a point where I was kind of like wanting to make something work that was not necessarily what I wanted,
Yeah.
right? At what point do you feel like you shouldn't do that, or that you should? Or should you even do that ever?
I don't think that it's a question that can be answered naturally, right? Because so many people are different. But I think I do understand the sense of the question is like when do you step back from a red flag, even though this person seems so perfect? Is basically what you're asking, right?
No, when do you make something work with someone that you don't think, like, let's
Oh,
say you have a
okay.
list of things that you are expecting or that you want from a person,
Yeah.
right? You have a certain list of things, like this is what, like, I want this and that. And then
Yeah.
you meet someone, you guys click, it's
Yeah.
cool. You get to know them. They don't necessarily have every single thing that you want,
Yeah.
but you're willing to make it work because of the possibility of it just being like a
Well,
great situation.
I think for me now at my age, it's easy, right? It's like I'm not gonna. Let's say I had 10 things, right?
Hmm.
Anything above five is a winner because you already passed half of it, right? So it's better to take 60% of the great things that happen in someone's life and that can happen in your life with that person than to throw away the whole relationship because of 40. And I think that that builds wisdom and patience, right? Because with her, I think that where I personally failed was the lack of patience, right? That's the only thing I can see where it's like why my relationship failed with her. It's because I lacked patience. But obviously, as an older person, patience is something that you acquire over time.
Okay, so now
Right.
you're more patient. You're willing to accept more things from
Yeah,
her.
of course. I'm willing to accept it because nothing is ever as dramatic as we make it seem. Nothing is. We always blow this thing up because we're so self centered. I mean, we're just born that way. You take two kids and you give one of them one thing, the other is go. There's one of out of the two babies are always gonna fight for what the other baby has. It's just a natural human tendency to be selfish, right? That's just who we are as human beings, and this is something that we are born with and learn to exclude out of our personalities as time go on. And I think that obviously if you lack patience, that means if you're lacking patience with someone, that means you or have a little bit too much selfishness in you. That's the way I see it. And so since selfishness is something that I don't like at all, I exercise a lot more patience now. So when things happen now in my life, the first thing I'll do is I'll take a step back and I'll just let the situation cool off and then I'll come back in. But you got to get hurt a couple of times before that
Yeah, I'm
becomes
not
a
patient.
routine. Yeah, well,
I'm not patient.
practice it.
I've been trying to be patient, but
Practice it.
listen, I think it's not working out for me. I'm trying, I
No.
tried it. It didn't work out. I gotta go back to my regular self.
No,
I
you
haven't
don't.
blocked anyone for a long time.
You haven't blocked anyone?
I haven't blocked anyone a
Wow.
whole 2022.
You blocked me in 2022.
Oh, I did block you. He's still blocked. He's still
She's like,
blocked.
I'm still blocked. She
Still
blocked me in
blocked.
2022, so I can't say that you haven't blocked anyone.
I did.
And we weren't even dating, so could you imagine?
Actually, I blocked you
After,
after
yeah,
Thanksgiving 2021.
I remember that.
I tried to give you a chance and be like, let me unblock him,
What the hell?
but it was a business situation. I had to unblock him, but I didn't mean to, so I blocked him right back.
business
But that
situation.
was the original thing was 2021. So I
I
didn't block.
remember that.
I didn't block anyone in 2022. You were already blocked.
Well, that's true.
But
I was already blocked from
2023,
2020.
I'm
Yeah.
coming full throttle.
And when am I getting unblocked?
Never.
Okay, good.
We talk
I guess I'm
here
never
in
getting
rare
unblocked.
occasions.
Why not?
Because
I gotta get off on the unblock list. I
can't.
can't be on the block list. That's my thing. Blocking people is my thing. I didn't even block you.
We gonna
You
be
see,
have
it
beef
goes.
forever.
No, we're not. You see,
Yes.
here goes the thing about patience, right? Like, and I know that you and I we had like this disagreement once, and that's the thing. Like to me, it's like doesn't matter. Like my patience, the way I exercise patience is I'm like a Jedi Knight now. Like, and it may not seem like it because you've known me for what 4 years now, right? You know me for like 4 years now, and I'm telling you, when I first came around, I never forgot this. And this is for the audience who doesn't know. So when I first came around, it was not everybody gets along in life, not everybody has this instant connection, but I do believe that if you genuinely care for people, right? That's my belief. This has nothing to do with anyone else. My belief is that if you genuinely care for people, it's not upon them what you do about your relationship with them. It's solely upon yourself, right? And so for me personally, like when I meet someone, whether it's romantic or friendship or even just being colleagues at work, I don't base it off of anything other than how am I going to be? Am I going to be the colleague today? Am I going to be the friend today? Because lots of times we hear people say, hey, you know what? That person's not my friend. But what about you being their friend or you also being that? And so for me personally, Lonnie, I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm your friend. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're
You got to unblock me though.
no. I don't feel the same. I feel like your answers are very like political. Like
They're not. That's just who I am. Trust me, that's who I am. And that's the thing. Like if you take time, you're gonna realize that nothing has changed. As like my consistency is always been there. It's like, and I know that that's actually probably why my relationship has failed. The interesting thing is that you're saying this is that when they realize that I'm less perfect, right? It's like, wait a minute. This guy must be bullshitting. No, this is who I am. Like, I'm not going to change my answer. You can ask me the same question that you've asked me tonight. Guess what? I'll make a deal with you.
no.
I'll make a deal with you right now on camera for next year. Next year, ask me the same question. See if my answers change.
Jamark,
And see if it's still political.
number one, I'm not gonna remember. And
No,
number
you'll have it
two,
on tape.
I don't care.
No, but what I'm saying is it's not political.
I just feel
I'm not too careful.
like a lot of people are rehearsed.
I'm not.
Okay. Sometimes, it's like getting a text message from a guy in the morning that says,
Okay.
"Good morning, sunshine." I'd be like, why?
Why not?
It's annoying. It's so
How?
It's like you probably have a whole list of girls that you text and you copy and paste.
Yeah, but you see, I think that's where you made the
It's
first
not
mistake, Lonnie. Can I?
genuine. It's
No,
not
it is.
genuine. It's not
If you got it from, you see, if you were dating a guy like me, you would have gotten that every morning. That's the crazy part
But
about
this
it.
is how you
And
I
guess
know
what?
that it's not genuine because
It
if
is.
you see me on a regular basis, you know I'm not no sunshine.
No, but that's not the point. You're missing the
Not the
point.
point.
It's not
It's
about
not-
you being
so
a
I know you
sunshine.
lying. It's like
No, it's not about you being a sunshine. So ex-wife, right? She was the only woman I ever brought home. So it goes to show you. So she was the first female that I presented and the first person I married. So that's how I was raised. So when I presented her to my mother, I knew, okay, that's the person I'm going to marry. I had plenty of girlfriends prior to her. One day, I leave work. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy my wife something. All right? Head into Bloomingdale's. Get her a gift. And I'm like, yo, lay it on the bed for her. She comes in, she goes, I don't really like it. What? I was crushed. But you know what it taught me?
what?
I need to listen more. And it's not everything that I do because it's a great gesture means it's the right gesture. And so what I'm saying to you is if a man is here and a man is telling you, hey, what's up, sunshine? Yeah, you may not be sunshine today, but you could be his sunshine tomorrow. You have to understand that you need to what you have to what I'm saying is that like just rejecting it as I'm not sunshine, I'm not always
No,
no.
I block them because well,
Oh
you're not gonna
Jesus
text me
Christ.
tomorrow, sunshine. When I know you're not paying attention. I, John Mark, let me tell you something. It's a lot of these guys. You meet them, right?
Hmm.
The next day they text you, "Good morning, sunshine." I'll be
But
like,
I would do that.
"But why are you calling me sunshine?"
No, I don't know if
I
I would
don't
call you
like.
sunshine, but
I
I'm
think
just
that
saying I
all
would
those
text you the
things
next day.
are so generic. It's like
And
all those things are like so. It's like you think that girls like to hear certain things, okay? And just like you're saying, you have to listen.
you
You
have
have
to.
to listen. Number one, don't text me those things until you get to know me,
Ooh.
right? You get to know me, then you know I don't like all that stuff.
Okay, so I
That
hope the guys out there are paying attention if they see Lonnie in any of the events that we're throwing. You know, guys, just
no,
pay attention to what she's saying.
do not approach me. I'm just kidding. But it's like it's I don't like. I just think it's so generic. It's like something that you learn.
Okay.
Okay, like when you meet a girl, you have to be this way. It's like it's so just be genuine. Just
Ah.
be genuine. Pay
Okay.
attention, listen to, how the relationship and then act accordingly.
You don't want a sketch artist. You just want somebody who's basically
Like
learning.
it's so fake.
It's not though. It's not always fake.
Like this is why a lot of relationships don't work because you have like a script that you're following
Ah.
and you're going off this
I
script
don't.
and all this stuff. I'm not saying you, I'm just saying people. You're going off this script and then you're going to get tired eventually. And when you get tired, it's like, damn, I really don't like him. Like, damn, I have to pretend. It's like, come on, it's a lot of pretenders out there.
No, listen, I'm not disagreeing, but women do the same thing too. There's
Yes,
a
they
lot of
do.
women lead men on a lot of times, right? And that's what I'm talking about is that going back to what I said before is that when you focus on how you do it, right? How you stand up on your principles and being that friend or being that girlfriend or being that date, right? Because when I go into something, and I know you kept telling me that I'm capping, but no, it's not capping. The way I go into anything, I go in with myself. I don't put on the mask. I'm not that guy that's gonna pretend like, hey, you know what? I'm a superhero. I'm making $1 million. No.
Do you feel like you end up being that man? Because as I'm talking to
Which
you,
man?
the man that women don't want. Because as I'm talking to you, I feel like you capping, number one, like you're saying all the right answers. It's like, why do you like give these perfect like answers and scenarios when that's not real life?
What do you mean it's not real life?
It's not real life.
You're not a sun, so obviously you can't be a sunshine. So what I'm saying is that you may brighten up a man's world. What I'm saying is this. Do I feel like I'm that guy? Can I be guilty of it? Absolutely. To be quite honest, yes, I can.
Yes.
I'm guilty of it not because I am pushing a narrative that is false. I'm guilty of it because of who I am. So I'm not gonna be that guy that tells you, "Hey," or I'm gonna be afraid. And again, it goes. That's why I'm not capping, Lonnie. That's what I'm trying to
So
tell
I
you.
get it. You're not
I'm not that
capping.
guy.
But if you are not that guy
Yeah.
and you're single now,
Yes.
what do you think has to happen in order for you to be the guy that girls want? Because
I'm not
you're
trying
not
to
gonna get
be.
a girlfriend if
No,
we
hold
all
on a
think
second.
like if we all think you capping.
But this is what I don't. This is where I see that there's a major disconnect, right? So you don't want the guy that is being atypical, right? Because it's scripted for him, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, you want the guy that's completely different. And let's just say that, right? So you want the guy that's the opposite. He's not scripted.
No, you want a guy that's genuine.
That's genuine. But I am genuine and I'm not basing my personal decision doesn't lie on what XYZ did in a magazine or what something I did in a movie. Can I be inspired by those things? Absolutely. We all feel, we all want to be loved, we all want to share our emotions with someone else, right? But where do we begin? Now, again, I told you when I bought this gift for my wife at the time, she was just like, "Oh," and she was repulsed by it. Was I hurt? Absolutely. You know why? Because I was being that typical guy. And then I realized what you have to be is not a typical dude. You just have to pay attention to the woman you're with. So if you don't like a guy telling you, "Hey, sunshine," guess what? Let them know about it. Don't push them away. Let them know, hey, you know what? It's not really my thing. Now, if he runs, that's on him. Me, I didn't run. I stood my ground and I kept on doing what I had to do. But that's what I'm saying is like, and I know it sounds politically correct all the time, but I did say also that maybe is the reason why I cannot keep a relationship. It's because it always seems so perfect in the beginning, and then when my imperfections rises, right? Well, I
So
knew
what
it.
are these
I knew it.
imperfections?
What do you mean? What are my
It's like,
imperfections? I'm not a
why
perfect
can't
man.
I understand, but it's like, why does it seem so perfect at the beginning and then the imperfections come in? Why can't you just be your regular self throughout?
What? I don't understand. My imperfections are not going to be things that I'm even paying attention to. When she sees it, it's going to be something so natural to me that she doesn't like. It may not even be an imperfection. That's the crazy part about it. It's just maybe something that just she detests. Her character doesn't like it. Maybe her uncle did it and she never liked it. And
So,
she sees it in you now and it's like, oh
so
my
do
God,
you think that the
now
girls
you're
are
in trouble.
pretending? Do you think
What's
some of
that?
these girls are pretending?
I think everybody, and let me say this. Let me, please let me say this. I think everybody, when they meet someone for the first time, caps. But the amount of time that it takes for you to realize that is very, very slim. And if you need 2 weeks to figure it out, you're already doomed.
So do
That's
you
my
think?
opinion.
Wait, Jamark, do you think that people cap or they show their best self? Because I think that's two different things. Because capping is you lying.
Yeah, but
Showing your best self is
everyone
just
exaggerates in the beginning. Everyone wants to have this this bigger picture of themselves, right? That's all of us. Like if I'm going out on a date, the last thing I want is to fuck up. That's the last thing. So I'm gonna make sure I'm checking all the angles while I'm getting ready, when I met her, what everything. I'm gonna recap what we talked about. I'm gonna keep focus on everything, and my senses are gonna be at 1,000. Right, my endorphins are gonna be way high. I'm gonna be into it, and I'm gonna remember everything we talked about. I'm gonna remember even what the hell she wore. 6 months down the line, if I'm going out with my girlfriend, she asks me 3 weeks later, what did I wear that day? I'm gonna be like, I don't know, baby, because I'm already involved. I don't have to put on that. I don't have to put on that heightened state of
that's the problem though.
personality. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's why a lot of relationships don't work because you
I think
so
it's a problem if I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but go ahead. So sorry,
oh,
go ahead.
I said I think that that's why a lot of relationships don't work because people cap so hard that they're not able to keep up with those appearances. And I think that when you are dating someone in the 6 months and now it's like, oh, we getting more serious, that's when you should go harder because what you gonna do? Now, oh, let me wear the bonnet to, you know what I'm saying? All day long while I'm in the house.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come
And you don't
on.
get sexy no more. And the man comes home
So
greasy. He doesn't take a shower. He just lays
and
on the
then you
couch.
just showed it happens with both people, the woman and the man.
But that's called complacency, right? It's forgetting what you have, right? And I think we've all been guilty of it. I know I've been guilty
Yeah,
of
you
it.
said you can't even like so it's like damn.
No, I've been guilty of it. But that's the thing. The thing is to grow from what you've dealt with, is to understand that, you know what, this was a mistake before that I've made. And again, for me, call it cap, call it whatever you want. For me, I don't go into it like that. I go into it with myself first.
And then you
With
turn into somebody else.
No, I don't have a Jekyll and Hyde situation here.
I'm saying
I
this,
don't turn
that's what
into
you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that now, because the when we started the conversation was based off of our age group,
Okay.
right? And so now for me as a man, things are different. And that's why I can be clear, right? Clear on my decisions going forward for the next 4 months. And I can plan that out. And I'm sure you can plan it out as a grown woman, experienced grown woman. You can plan out and say, yo, you know what, the next 6 months, here's what I'm going to do and execute on it because you have the experience to know that the person that can draw your attention away from all of that, goddamn, I'm going to give the next 6 months to and let them prove themselves wrong. And so for me, that's what matters the most.